Hi, welcome to Self-Generated. My name's Steve. I'm the host and creator of this online conversation, podcast, web series, whatever you want to call it. And on this particular series of episodes, we're going to be exploring the idea of human NPCs. Now, if you've watched any of my prior episodes, or a few of you out there, you'll notice the difference is that I'm actually on screen. I feel it's kind of important, especially going into the idea of people not being real or being bots, that maybe a faceless YouTube channel, it's kind of hard to describe that idea in earnest. So here I am. I don't want to be on screen or be a media guy, but I also have very limited time and not very many skills when it comes to editing. So if I want to share these ideas, it's about as good as it gets. And you are probably here for the idea of human NPCs. Now, what do I mean by that is I'm talking about the idea, the meme that kind of exists now, starting with 4chan and Reddit, that some people are more mentally akin to non-playable characters from a video game. And it's very demeaning. It's removing authenticity. It's meant to say fuck you to the person. That's what it's for, right? And that it does, though, in fact, describe some type of behavior that we do see in the real world from real people. And so that's what I'm going to be describing and looking into and exploring with you. And I'm pretty sure that no one else, or at least I haven't been able to find anybody else that kind of looks at it this way. So at least you'll get something unique. But fundamentally, when I'm talking about the idea of human NPCs, the idea is that certain people appear to not be able to function as a free agent. They are just following a path, a story. You can give them whatever level of rationale and reason, they can't seem to see it. And that, again, this has started the meme of an NPC, of somebody who just regurgitates or has to say societal norms and do those things and resist anything that stands against that, but without any thought or introspection or any understanding of what they're saying. It's usually put in the context of people in a political party, like that they're just blindly following. Again, cult-like behavior, this type of dehumanizing labeling there's some truth to it, but it's more used not to actually be accurate. It's more to say, hey, look at how stupid this person is, which makes them feel better. That's part of it, but it's not the whole story. What we're going to explore, and I explore exclusively, is the ideas that there is an explanation for what makes us work and how we make our society work. And unfortunately, it's not any of the ones that are already out there. For the most part, I believe it's active inference, embodied cognition, and the extended mind, and that these ideas pretty much mainly exist in academia. Active inference exists because you use things like ChatGPT or other AI. It's the basis of understanding of artificial intelligence, and I feel it actually is also the basis of actual natural intelligence. And there's others that are out there, Carl Friston, some scientists, but that's not the point. Hi, forgive me, my phone, I hadn't turned it off, my wife was calling. But I don't want to digress too much talking about scientists and abstract frameworks and all this. This is about regular people like me and you trying to figure out how this crazy world works. And that in this series of videos, we're going to explore the idea of humans that act like NPCs. And what I mean by that is that there's people that when you interact in the real world or online are limited in their responses. They can mainly just recite what they believe to be true, usually parroting somebody from their group, meaning if it's a political party or a news network or some influencer, and that a lot of them don't seem to have their own rational cognitive thought, that they're just kind of falling in line. And that's where the NPC meme comes in, is that behavior acts like this thing, which is a non-playable character from a video game. Most people have played video games, but if you haven't, it's a character that is made up in the game, has its own little story. It looks like a part of the game, and it's there to contribute to the player's immersion to the universe. So they're very limited. They can do things like sell you stuff. They can, interact or run on a script and help facilitate your journey, your story, make it feel more real. But if you were to ask them about how they really felt or any existential questions, if they were aware that they were an AI or anything like that, they can't. Or that even, is it going to rain? Anything outside of the scope of what they're programmed to. And that's what the point, or that's the point of the NPC meme, is that it's just a you're not a sentient person. You're just this character in a story. And that there's something to that we don't want to talk about normally. That there's something to why do people act that way? And is it actually a character flaw? Are they actually less intelligent? No. What I'm suggesting is why you even notice that. Why you even notice that somebody is acting like a non-playable character and why it feels weird to you, something that you can even pay attention to, is because you're a creature of active inference, embodied cognition, and extended mind. And what I mean by that is how we follow and exist as a creature of active inference is that we predict the world to work a certain way, and when it doesn't, we get a signal, because that's the point. We're prediction machines. Our whole world, our whole existence is based off of being able to interpret what these sensory signals are coming into our brain mean. And as we figure it out, this system warns us if we're on prediction or off prediction. And so when you notice somebody who seems to be not acting like a rational actor, who you can give all the evidence in the world to, and all they can do is try to destroy you, destroy your idea, make you feel stupid, and that they thrive on other people reinforcing that idea, we think of them as just a bad person, or that they're dumb, or that they're in a cult. But what I'm saying is that they are functioning like a normal human being, but we don't recognize that because we believe we function in a different way. We believe in free will. Now, maybe you haven't ever been taught about free will. I'll leave some stuff in the description. Maybe there's a couple videos and some articles that are simple enough. But the fundamental idea is that free will is the idea that you have the supreme authority of your thoughts and actions. And that even though definitively we don't have a firm scientific idea that do we have exactly free will or not, and generally when we explore it, it's in this black and white way. Do you have free will or not? Well, you and I feel like we're making decisions right now. You're still watching this video, or maybe you're not. Maybe you decided you not to watch this video. Those are decisions that you seem to make. And so to say, okay, well, then how can I not have free will? I'm making decisions right now. But here's the idea is, what type of free will do you have? We don't ask about that. What type of will do you have? Because can you will away something that you believe? If I give you a ton of evidence to prove to you that Santa Claus is in fact real, 100%, can make him show up right here, give you a gift, he knows all your past, like definitively, can you instantaneously, without any discomfort, change what you believe and how you feel? No. Can you control the next thought that's going to come into your mind? No. Do you think about every word before it comes out of your mouth? No. Do you think about every movement before you make it? No. Much of your life and existence is subconscious, unconscious is the terms that we use, but it's outside of this thought, choice, and decision. And even your thoughts, choices, and decisions are not necessarily what you think they are. Do you always think about something and rationally weigh everything out, or eventually do you get to a point where you just choose? How many things do you even choose at all? Now, here's the thing is, you might not have been taught about free will. It might not be definitively said that we are for sure characters of free will, but it's implied throughout everything. Society wouldn't work if we weren't creatures of free will. That's the whole point. That's the social contract. That's everything. Economics. There's not a whole lot of morality and aspects to it other than the fact that it's intended that each individual is a rational actor, and every purchase they make is based off of their own rational decisions. We'll talk about that later, but the basic idea is, okay, well, what about advertising? What about false reviews? What about how the fact that you don't ever know? What if you just have to get it? What if it's all that's available in the market? Those things aren't that simple. Works kind of in a different way. But most of the structure, laws, showing up to school and work, all of the other societal norms are based off of this idea that you're responsible for everything. And it's not that you're not responsible for all your thoughts and actions, but that your decision process and that which makes you is not so simple. It's not so simple as having this crystalline soul stone carved you that somehow connects to the ether, and that it's taking in all of reality and then deciding. The totality of our experience is very different. That's one of the things that I explore. But when we see people acting like NPCs, that's a window to the actual nature of how we're working, that we work in a particular way. And we're going to explore that over the next couple of videos, but with this particular one, we're going to stop with the idea of you being able to notice somebody as an NPC. Is that system in action? What do I mean? The fact that you have any sensation, experience that this person is acting unnaturally is because you have a model of what naturally should be. And when that surprises you, that information, that action, that behavior of that person comes in, it raises an error signal. And to deal with that signal, what do? Well, we either change our environment or we change how we model the item. So we can change like how we think about the person, but if the person is counter to what we believe to be true, well, then they must be stupid. They have to be wrong. I can't be wrong. They don't make any sense. I'm showing them rational things, so it's them. There's some truth to that, but that's not the complete story. The idea is that they can't see what they don't already believe to be true. That sounds kind of stupid, but that's not. That makes perfect sense under one condition: active inference. That's how it works. And so I'm not going to answer all the questions and everything in one foul video, one foul swoop, but we are going to explore little tiny tidbits, bit by bit, this idea. And in this idea, in this particular video, we explored the idea of active inference, embodied cognition, and the extended mind as being part of how we work. And maybe that's why we notice people acting like NPCs. And that just the fact that we can recognize that we're experiencing something comes to our attention. Did you decide that? Did you will it? Did you even know about it? Do you feel about it differently now that you think about it differently? That's because you're a creature of active inference. Not a magical stone. There's differences here. You're not a little person in your head watching reality come in and projected onto a screen. Your brain exists locked inside its skull with the only references of the signals that are coming in and what you have encoded them to be in the past. And that's a totally different feeling, totally different idea than what you're probably used to, and that might make you feel uncomfortable. But that's how the system works. I just described it. What we do here is try to explore these fundamental realities so that we can learn to be more comfortable with uncomfortable ideas, because that is empowerment. And in the next couple of videos, I'm going to try to continue to explore this idea, continue to empower each other through the idea of some people seem to act like NPCs. Maybe there's some truth to that. Maybe there's a different understanding of that. And maybe it's not something that I need to say to make them feel worse, but maybe something I need to understand to make me more empowered in the real no bullshit world. That's what we do here. If you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, hit me up on X, SelfGen Podcast. Otherwise, prove you're an NPC.